Prager, a pleasant surprise. Prager turned quickly as the curtain of one of the small booths behind him was pulled back. The man who sat there, a bottle of wine in front of him, was immensely fat, his crumpled khaki uniform stained with sweat and bursting at the seams. Prager managed to smile. "Captain Mendoza, don't you ever sleep?" "Not very often. What is it this time? Business or pleasure? A little of both. As you know, the position of German nationals is a difficult one these days. Your government is more than ever insistent on a regular report. So, it is necessary that Berger and his men are seen by you personally, on the first day of the last week in each month. Your people in Rio are most strict in this respect, and the good Senora Prager, I'm given to understand she was on the plane with you. I have a few days' leave due, and she has never seen this part of the country. It seemed the ideal opportunity." Richter slipped out without a word. Mendoza watched him go. "A nice lad," he said. "What was it he used to be? Chief helmsman on a U-boat. Obersteuermann, isn't that the word?" "I believe so." "You'll have a drink with me?" Prager hesitated. "Just a quick one, if you don't mind. I have an appointment." "With Berger?" Mendoza nodded to the barman, who poured brandy into 2 glasses without a word. "When does he leave to go back to Rio? In the morning?" "I believe so." Prager sipped the brandy. On dangerous ground now. He was 65, an assistant consul at the German embassy in Rio until August 1942, when the Brazilians, enraged by the torpedoing of several of their merchant ships by U-boats, had declared war. A little more than a gesture, but it had presented the problem of what to do about German nationals, in particular the increasing number of sailors of the Kriegsmarine who found themselves washed up on her shores. Prager, having spent 20 years in the country and being acceptable in high places, had been left behind to cope with that. There were, after all, 5,000 miles of ocean between Brazil and Germany, so no need to set up expensive internment camps. The Brazilian government was content with the monthly reports he presented on his fellow citizens. As long as they were gainfully employed and not a charge on the state, everyone was happy. Mendoza said, "I've been harbour master here for 2 years now, and for most of that time the Deutschland has been coming in regularly, say, every couple of months." "So?" "A boat of that size usually manages with a master, mate, boatswain, probably 6 foremast hands, and a cook." "That is correct." Mendoza sipped a little of his wine thoughtfully. "According to my information, Berger has a crew of something like 20 this trip." He smiled genially, but the eyes in the fat face were sharp. Prager said carefully, "There are many German seamen in Rio, and more each day. The war, my friend, does not go well for you. Berger is probably trying to employ as many as possible." Mendoza smiled beautifully. "But of course that explanation had not occurred to me. But I mustn't keep you. Perhaps we'll have time for another drink tomorrow." "I hope so." Prager went out quickly. Richter was waiting on the veranda by the steps. Beyond, the rain hammered relentlessly into the ground. "Everything all right?" he asked. "Not really," Prager told him. "He knows something's going on, but how could he possibly suspect the truth? No one in his right mind would believe it." He clapped Richter on the shoulder. "Now, let's get moving." The boatswain said, "I didn't get a chance to tell you inside, but there was someone asking for you." There was a movement behind, and, as Prager turned, a nun in tropical white habit stepped into the light. She was a small woman, not much over 5 feet tall, with clear, untroubled eyes and a calm, unlined face. "Sister Angela," Richter said, "of the Sisters of Mercy from the mission station on the Rio Negro. Introductions are not necessary, Helmut. Sister Angela and I are old acquaintances." He took off his Panama and held out his hand, which she clasped briefly, in a grasp of surprising strength. "It's good to see you again, sister. And you, Herr Prager, I think you know why I'm here." "Why, yes, sister." Otto Prager smiled warmly. "I believe I do." An anchor light hung from the Deutschland's forestay.